Call of Duty is based on a real world war, or a fake real world war, if that makes any sense. Today in this video, I'm going to cover 10 historical details only true fans would notice in Call of Duty. Welcome back to Game Shame, let's get into the video. Number 10, the tanks in the opening scene. The opening scene shows Axis troops marching through France with tanks of all different varieties. Mainly one can see tanks with long and short barrels. However, since their attacks in the country took place in 1940, there should only be short barrel tanks. Germany did not start producing and using tanks with long barrels until 1942.
I got this side. Ready? Clear.
Incoming, multiple bogies inbound.
Number 9, PPSH-41 in Normandy. The opening level recreates the dramatic Normandy invasion. Once the American forces breach the barricade and take out the first group of enemies, they can pick up a machine gun called the PPSH-41. This is a Russian weapon. But by this time, the Germans had captured a whole stockpile of Soviet weaponry and had repurposed them for their own use. It is interesting to pay such close attention to a detail some may misinterpret as inaccuracy.
That's actually kind of average damage for submachine guns. Most submachine guns in this game, and in most previous Call of Duty games, take between 4 and 6 shots to kill, so the PPSH isn't...
Number 8, Sherman's cannon should be able to rip through a Panzer. Midway through the game, the player takes control of a Sherman tank and has to battle it out with a German Panzer. To beat it, the player has to maneuver their way behind the enemy and shoot the back. However, the cannon should have no problem breaking through the enemy's tank's front armor. If it was a Tiger and not a Panzer, then it would be more appropriate to have to circle around.
Panzer's front armor. Got him flanking. Copy that. Moving around.
Number 7, the dogfighting sequence. The dogfight sequence, while cool, comes with its own factual inaccuracies. For one, a plane holding bombs would not also be escorting planes and then offer assistance. The added fuel expenditure from the increased payload would not make sense, nor would the planes be as agile like they are when playing the segment. However, even World War II enthusiasts might not know the nuances of flight deeply enough to notice this one.
Hold formation, stay tight to the big birds.
Number 6, town names and locations. One thing the game gets right to a T is the geography. All the towns and cities mentioned are real locations in Europe. Most of the time, real battles took place there too. That last tidbit would be hard to be wrong about, however, since fighting went on over nearly every inch of the continent.
But even though it's made up, it borrows a lot from the real city of Pripyat in Ukraine. If you're wondering what the inhabitants of Pripyat think about Call of Duty, the answer is probably...
Number 5, the Day of the Liberation mission. The mission Liberation puts players into the shoes of a French resistance fighter for the first half before switching back to Daniels for its bombastic finale. The level starts out stealthily, which is curious considering it takes place on August 25th. The battle for the city started on August 19th and ended in the night the mission starts in the game. By the 25th, the streets would have already been erupting in violence and a calm banquet would not be taking place. Number 4, using other countries' weapons. The Wehrmacht has a serious need for weaponry and supplies during World War II. As such, the PPSH-41 was far from the only piece of equipment and repurposed for their needs. They often use weapons and equipment from other countries to supply their own forces. For instance, the SVT-40, which players can lift from dead enemies, is another Soviet weapon which German forces used during the conflict. Number 3, German defenses in Normandy. Surprisingly, the Normandy level is quite simple, especially in the beginning. It is difficult to blame them, however, considering it serves as a game's introduction. Making it an impossibly hard mission would turn a lot of players off. However, it does lead to the game's historical inaccuracy. The breaches were covered in mines and various other obstacles in addition to the barbed wire. Additionally, players breach the defenses in just a couple of minutes. Number 2, the M1 Garand. Traditionally, an M1 Garand's bolts automatically snap forward once the magazine is loaded. However, the reloading animation shows the player manually pushing the bolt forward after putting the clip inside. The method of reloading is so well known, injuries caused from getting one's thumb stuck into the chamber from its automatic release has been dubbed Garand Thumb. Considering the research put into the game, it seems odd to miss this, though pushing the chamber forward is admittedly flashy. Number 1, the Rhine. In reality, the battle for the Ludendorff Bridge was far less dramatic in real life than it was in the game. That's not to say it wasn't dramatic at all. Soldiers still crossed the bridge through smoke and fire as the Germans' explosives failed to completely destroy the bridge. But the US lost just over 900 men in the whole 18-day battle, and while the Nazis' casualties are unknown, about 19,000 were captured. Additionally, an American soldier never commandeered a German anti-aircraft gun to shoot down the Stukas, trying to blow up the bridge. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.